Alright guys, welcome back. We're going to be solving another question from the second chapter of the dynamics by Meriam, and in this one we have small steel balls fall from rest through the opening at point A. So these balls are going to fall at a steady rate of 2 per second, meaning if we have the first ball falling down, let's say this is our first ball and it's going to go down, it's going to fall at this point, and the second ball that's going to fall is going to be, so if this is our t is equal to 0, half second after that the second ball is gonna fall. So if this is our second ball falling, so it's gonna be half seconds. So that's the first thing that we get from the steady rate of 2 per second. So for each second, 2 balls will fall, and we need to find the vertical separation of 2 consecutive balls. So for these two, they gotta make a height of h, which the question is asking us to find that when the lower one has dropped 3 meters. So if you look at this, I called our y-axis in here, and if we get this total value of 3 meters, we need to figure out the distance between the two balls. So the blue one is our first ball and the red is the second one. So we need to figure out this h here. So we're gonna start with our formula. Y is equal to y0 plus initial velocity times t plus 1/2 of g t squared. And this g in here is going to be positive because we call our y-axis downward. So this actually shows the positive direction of y. So that's why we don't have any negative in this formula. So at y0 is going to be 0 because that's our origin. And for the first ball, so for the ball 1, if we want to write this down, our h is going to be 3 is equal to the initial velocity is going to be 0 because all balls fall from rest. So no initial velocity for them. 1/2 of g, 9.81 meter per second squared t squared, and that's gonna give us the time for ball 1 when it gets to 3 meter away from the starting point. So let's see what we get for t. So it's gonna be the square root of 3 times 2 divided by 9.81. So the time would be square root of 6 divided by 9.81, and that's gonna give us 0.782 seconds. So now we're gonna write down the second ball. I'm gonna show it with red just to color code the balls. So for the ball 2, obviously the height that it gets is gonna be this, which is basically 3 minus h, and we are interested. So we're gonna have the same formula. Y is equal to y0 plus v0t plus 1/2 of g t squared. So it's going to be 0 again because of the same reason. Initial velocity is 0. The y that we have in here, as I talked about, is 3 minus h. And this will be equal to 1/2 of g, 9.81 meter per second squared. And the t is what we found in the... Yeah, so the t in here would be a different t because it's going to be the t in this period. And because this ball is gonna fall after half seconds, the t that we have in here would be t minus 1/2 all to the power of 2. So this is another critical thing because we're gonna have the same time, but because the first ball is gonna fall half second sooner than the second one, the t that we're gonna put in here is gonna be this t, and we just have to put the 0.782 seconds in here, and we can find the value of 3 minus h. So let's see what we get. 9.81 times 0.782 minus 0.5 all to the power of 2 divided by 2. So that's going to be 0.39. So our h would be 3 minus 0.39, which is going to be 2.61 meters. And yeah, the final answer for this question. I hope everything was clear. Let me know if you guys have any questions. You guys take care. I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one.